So turn recorder on. Hey everybody, glad to have you on our call here tonight. Super excited to welcome Bryson Black, who is one of our technology gurus, and to be able to help answer a question or two here tonight. We're really excited to have you all here to be able to learn how to take full advantage of your Execute90 account. This is a fantastic technology. It's a fantastic way for us to be able to get together, learn and grow together, to be able to make our businesses grow faster and with less frustration. So I'm going to get started tonight, and we've had a couple of questions here the last week, but before we do that, before we get to the questions, so that's kind of a teaser, right? I'm going to be able to just for a second share my screen with you. I want to show you a couple of things that are I think super important for people to understand about Execute90. Execute90 is the execution of a plan. So it's an execution of a mentor-approved plan. So I'm just going to share with you my screen, which you can see right now, which is not exactly what I want you to see, but you'll get to it in a second. Okay, so to be able to register. So when you go to execute90.com, execute90.com. Then this is the screen that you're able to see. So when you're on our website, this is the main website, execute90.com, which has, of course, you can play a video, an introduction video. So if you're introducing somebody to Execute90, then you can go there, watch the video. It's about 3.5 minutes long. You can see what Execute90 really is about. And you can then scroll down, be able to understand about the system, etc. You don't have to do much explaining for anybody who's on your team or who will be on your team in the future. And these are some testimonials that just scroll through here to be able to help you understand what the value that some people are getting from this. One of the things I want to be able to share with you is this notion of articles. So these are all blog articles that we've written. So this was the one that I did last week, and there'll be a new one up on Wednesday of this week. This is about Pearson's Law, but if you just scroll down, spending time or spending or investing time, the next one, systems always win, self-work versus network, etc. So there's blog articles here for you to be able to read and get some information from so that you can dig down and be able to make your business run faster and with less frustration. So just wanted to make sure you know where the articles are when we talk about articles. Go to the blog to be able to get those. So logging in, I wanted to just show you one more thing, and that is when you log into to your account. Sorry, I can't talk and type at the same time. Then when you get to the end of any 90-day deadline dash, so when you get to the end, here's the message you're going to see. So in this demo account that I have, here's what you're going to see. It says, congratulations on finishing 90 days of working on your dream. We've compiled, this is exactly what you get. This is what I got. Okay, so we've compiled the results for your past 90 days. Click below to see your report. So you can click, and I will click on it here in just a second, but I just want you to see what it is that we are doing so that you can understand what's going to happen. The end of 90 days, what exactly will happen. So you can review the email that you received with your graduation certificate, which I'm going to show you the actual email. You can rest, so review, right? Rest, review, renew. That's the idea. Rest and celebrate taking ownership of your life. Okay, review the past 90 days of performance execution. Click on See My Results right up here. And then renew your commitment to accomplishing your life legacy dreams, right? So that you're moving forward. Click here to get your winner walk-in token at the Execute90 store. Get your copy of the Geometry of Success by clicking here. So, and then you can launch the next 90 days. Now I wanted to show you the first thing first. So you see my results. What it does is it takes me, I'm thinking I got about 6 things going and I'm in a hotel room, so my connection is very slow. So see my results. This loads this and it tells me exactly what's happened over the course of these weeks. Now again, this is the demo account, right? So in the first week I would have gotten 66. The second week, right, in my demo account I got our Way Shower Award. Went up to 79, stayed at 79, then went up to 83, then went to 91. Well, it was above 90, so I got a winner walking award. And because it went up more than 5 points, I also got a way shower award that week. Then, of course, I stopped using the account, obviously. So it went down, and I just stopped using it. I just stopped using this as a demo account. So shows me exactly what has happened over the course of time. This green, big, thick green line is probably the most important of them all, because it's my overall performance score. So this is my overall performance score over the course of a 12-week period of time. Now, my lowest score was 0, obviously, because the last weeks I didn't use it, right? But my highest score was in week 5 at 91. And here is a summation of exactly what has happened, okay, over the course of 12 weeks. I can tell exactly what's occurred every step of the way, okay? So this is a pretty darn detailed report of exactly what has occurred over the course of the next 90 days. Now I'm gonna show you something that's really super cool. First of all, I can export this if I want to, save it as a PDF file. And again, I could send it to anybody I want, or I don't have to send it to anybody at all. I could use this report to just keep for my own keeping. So the summary report from January 21 to April 14th. Okay, so this would be my overall award. So if I'm actually at the end here, I can see my results, which is what I just did. Now I just want to show you. I'm not sure if it'll jump with me, be able to go to my email. So I'm going to show you the email that I got from Execute90. So this is the actual email that I received. Notification, this is where it comes from. So congratulations on completing this 90-day deadline dash. Attached, which is this document right here, is your graduation certificate. Okay, now click here to see a summary, which I just showed you. Once you're ready to start your next 90 days, you'll see a new set of action items, etc. Rest tells you exactly what to do. So, and then it tells you, right, give yourself a grade for your performance during the past 90 days. If I had an overall performance score of 90 or higher, or earned way shower awards at least 7 times, right, then I would be an A student. And what does that mean to be an A student, and what should we be able to easily expect being able to move forward? Okay, so tells me if I'm an A student, it tells me, like, okay, here's kind of what a B student would be and what that means, and here's what a C student is and what that might mean, etc. So the graduation certificate looks like this, and I hope it jumped right with me. So let me just turn this back on. So you guys Bryson, can you give me a thumbs up if you can see the graduation certificate? You cannot see it, okay. So let me stop sharing that and share again, right? So here's what this looks like. Here's what you can see this now. Yes, Cynthia? Okay, so this is what the graduation certificate looks like. So it has your name on it, and this is automatically put in here. Whatever name you put on your account, right, it goes in here, and you get this award. Now this is the size that you could actually print if you wanted to be able to do it. Has my signature on it. So this is presented to me, and this is a demo account, etc. Just want you to see what is going to be happening to you when you get to the end of a 90-day deadline dash. So let me go back to here. Now, if I click launch the next 90 days, then it takes me back to the dream page here. So start the next 90 days. So this is the bottom part of the 90-day of the dream page, right? How is your life going to be different? What are your goals next 90 days? On a scale from 1 to 10, how serious are you about those? So I'm going to say 10, and then I'll update this here in just a second. I'm going to take, so what happens if you don't? What if you make these goals? I'm going to take Carol on an Alaskan cruise. Now then it says, okay, so where are you at? Did you make any progress, right? Are you still got a little bit of production, but not 3 builders yet? You think you've advanced to this trainer role? And do I have some hours that can help me to be able to move forward? So I'm just going to click associate. I was able to buy some of my time back. So now I went from 6 hours, maybe from 16 to 25 hours. And I'm going to choose a date here. So I'm going to choose today, let's say. to be able to move forward. And I'm going to start the next 90 days. So what happens here is now I'm in week 1. And all of the action items that are included with now this is a generic, this is very generic here. So this is the generic version of a recipe. Okay, so I'm in week 1 and I chose associate. So it assumes that I don't have a lot of things going on here, and I have a few hours a week that I've put in here. So it tells me not only what is the list of critical action items, but it also pre-populates the amount of each of these items that I should be doing given what my circumstances are in my business. Now again, in weeks past, we've shown you how to add new action items. If you say, I don't want this, or I don't need to do this, I don't need a getting started plan, I don't need this, then you could delete it if you wanted to be able to delete it. You just get rid of this guy altogether if that's not something. If it's like your second 90-day period, which this is, right, then you could be able to do that. So this is important for you to be able to see, right? Here I am, and in this measure page, in this execute page, this is important for you to be able to see. This is how you start again. Now, if you were to start again in the middle, this exact same thing, exactly what happened. And what I want you to rest assured are a couple of things, because you've invested probably a lot of time putting in things about the dream, and that did not go away. The dream stuff that I put in here did not go away. It did not. So it's all still here. I reevaluated how serious am I about moving forward, because I might have gone from like a 5 or a 6 or 7 or something to now, okay, I get what's going on. I'm totally rocking the world here. Okay, so this all is here. The picture is here. To upload the file, everything is still here. Nothing went away. Now on the execute page, okay, it's all of this information in the framework, which is what needs to be in place for success. The 3 little deals here. Okay, so that would be still in place. Didn't get everything. I just never entered anything to start with. Okay, now one last thing, 2 last things actually. One is that one last thing is I want to be able to see the previous 90-day summary. So I have 2 of them in here. This is January 21st to April 15th, which was the previous 90 days. This would be like starting from today forward. So if I want to be able to see the summary, which is, you're going to recognize this because it will look just exactly like the one that I had a second ago. We'll put this on the screen for me to have. And so I don't have to worry about necessarily saving anything here. So this is exactly the same report that I showed you just a few minutes ago. Okay, so you have access to this moving forward, and I can export it. So don't think, oh no, I should have exported that when I had the chance to. Well, you always have the chance to. So this, you have access to this report, just like this, for as long as you have an Execute 90 account, being able to move forward. Now, one last thing that I want to be able to show you in here. So let me do this. I think. Let me do. Okay. So I want to make sure is that you guys are following me. You can see my screen right now, right? Cynthia, it says week 2. Okay, good. So what I want to show you lastly, and then we'll start answering some questions. I just want you to show you what's new and what happens when you get to the end. So in this account, I have permission. I've given this random demo account that I have here, this test account, right, is a very generic. It's a very generic version of a recipe that's here, right? So it's generic. It's just stuff that I use. And what I want you to see is that most of the time we have dream, then execute, then measure, and then access downloads. And what you now have access to also, as long as your company is okay with it, is that we have given you access to our RI training media library. So if you click on this, if you've ever been to BizRunner, you can see that there's, in any of these things, there are literally hundreds of hours of training resources here. So if contacting, or let's say product promotion is a problem for you, I don't know how to promote my product accurately. Then you have access to videos, and you have access to audios right underneath of that, and you have access to text here, training resources in order for you to be able to learn about what you're doing here. And of course, we can be able to move forward, media library. So you can go back here, becoming a leader, and I can find out about recognition if I want to be able to do that, etc. So there's literally hundreds of hours of resources here, training resources here to be able to help you. Now, the reason I'm telling you this, why we added this, is because your support partner does not have to be the coach. Does not have to be the coach. And the reason why they don't have to be the coach is because they can look at your measure page and they can look at this and say, wow, I think there's some problems here. Wow, this brown line right here, life insurance training. Now, we don't offer life insurance training, but if we did, right, have a guest at team presentation. That's a problem. It's 42%. The one right above this guy is 2,000 points of personal production, right? And this one's going down. Presentations one-on-one. Well, you can now go, though, your support partner doesn't have to be able to be your coach. Now, I've said that all along. They don't have to be your coach, and they don't have to be, because that person can look at this and say, wow, enrollments is kind of a problem here for you, Clay. So, it's 17% of what you're doing. Well, we could click on the media library and we could start looking for, okay, well, how do I actually fix my presentations? Well, maybe asking for the business is something that's kind of a problem for me. I go here and I have access to this without my support partner being the coach. So just want to let you know that these resources are here for you to be able to take advantage of. It's all part of your subscription. So we say, man, get a subscription because all of this is here, is super important for you to understand. We're not kidding. These resources really are there for you, and the cost of your subscription did not go up. It's the same as it always has been. Okay, so a couple of questions this week. Number one question was, how do I use, what happens if I have a Mac and I'm using Safari as a browser? How do I, what do I do? How do I make that work, etc.? And I've invited Bryson Black, again, who's one of our technology gurus to be on here tonight and to explain some of that to us. So what I'm going to do, Bryson, is turn the time to you, my friend, and let you explain in ways that you think are most appropriate for us to be able to understand why we recommend Chrome and why Safari is not bad, sick, or wrong. It's an operating system that really doesn't support some of the things that complicated sites like what we're doing, tracking and measuring and those kinds of things. Why is this kind of a problem? So Bryson, I'm gonna let you take the time, my friend, and you don't forget that you are muted. So when you're ready to go, just unmute yourself and you can drive on, my friend.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So first of all, we're really excited to be working on this technology, and we believe that the technology combined with Clay and Terry's proven model will get you great results. So we're excited about it. So we recognize that a lot of you have had problems, especially with Safari, and so we apologize for that. We've been working really hard to figure out what is going on with Safari, because it's been kind of confusing. We've had a lot of everything's been working great in the browsers that we use to develop with, which is primarily Chrome. But when we did notice that as we would launch some of these applications in Safari, that they were not working as planned. So we figured out a few bugs with that. We figured out that some of the plugins that we're using to be able to communicate between the design of the app, the functionality, and the back-end systems, the database, etc., works really good in Chrome, but Safari just does not have support for it. So we've worked hard to implement new technologies to fix that. So right now, I feel like we're at a comfortable state with Safari, right? If you want to use Safari, I think you can use it. But that being said, there's still a lot of bugs out there. We know we can't see anything right now, but we know we've had reports from people using Macs that there are still problems. So if you want to use Safari, I would say go for it if that's something that you're comfortable, if that's your comfortable browser. But if you're starting to experience problems, then switch over to Chrome. And the reason why we recommend Chrome versus Safari, right? Everybody has a preferences. I'm not saying Safari is a bad browser, but we've seen that Chrome definitely gets maintained and updated by the developers a lot more frequently than Safari. So Chrome stays up to date. It stays more secure. Safari is lagging behind a little bit in the technology space, and we're using some cutting edge technology here for Execute 90. So just for example, a report that I recently read said that over a 12-month period, Safari released 1 update versus Chrome released 8 updates in that 12 months, right? Examples like that, where Chrome is just better maintained, has more funding behind it. The people that build Chrome, obviously Google, are technology gurus. Their expertise is software, whereas the people who build Safari, Apple, their expertise is hardware, not software. So there's that. So that's basically, what I have. We do recommend using Chrome. It's more secure. It's also more up to date. But we believe that we have it to a point where you can use Safari if you would like to.
Awesome. Okay, so I hope that answers some of your questions. Being able to move forward in regards to that, Safari, like Bryson said, so we're not ripping Macs, or we're not saying Safari is stinky and bad. We're not saying that. We just need to make sure that we're using the most up-to-date things. And so it's hard to be able to maintain backwards on some things when we're moving in a forward environment. So just wanted to let you know what's happening with that. So if you or someone on your team says, I can't get this to work on my Mac, then you know probably that the answer is that it's the browser, because everything is in the cloud. It's all in the cloud. So you have to be able to get to the cloud through a browser. And therein lies the problem. So the problem probably is their browser. And if it's some version of Safari, then it's probably going to have some challenges. So you can recommend that they go download Chrome. And by the way, you can go back and forth. So if you have a preference and Safari is your preference, you can use Safari all you want. But just recognize that if you're going to use Execute 90, then you just need to switch your browser preference. You just need to switch your browser to Chrome, and then you probably will have no known bugs that we know of. So it doesn't mean there aren't any. It just means we don't know them yet. Now, if you still can't or still have a problem, then just send us a note. Just send me a note if you want to, Clay, C-L-A-Y, at ritraining.com. Clay at ritraining.com, and we'll make sure that it gets handled. Somebody will call you. We'll take care of you. We just want you to make sure, okay, that you're getting taken care of. Is there anything that I should want to add to that, Bryson, or are you okay?
I think that's I think that's good.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so I think we got that handled. Now, the next question was, how do I use Execute 90 on my phone? So I'm going to show you exactly how that can occur. Now, I just want you to know, I just want you to see, the problem is it's hard to see on my phone, but the Execute 90 is right here. I don't know if you can see this or if it's clear or not. Right here on my phone, right? If I press this, I'm gonna get Execute 90 working on my phone. Okay, welcome back, Execute 90, okay? Now, I've had people ask, how do you do that? So what I'm gonna show you is, now it's already on my phone, right? So I'm gonna go to something else like dictionary.com, okay? So you can see that I'm at dictionary.com right now. Now this works for any app. This is not just something super cool about Execute 90. This will work on anything you go to. You can make, if your phone is web enabled, right? You can go to websites on your smartphone, right? Then I'm at dictionary.com right now. And if I press, so the 3 little dots that are right over here for me, right? They give me some choices. one of these choices over here, I can't read, it's backwards, right? It says add to home screen. I think it's that one right there, just looking backwards, right? It says add to home screen. So I click on that guy, okay, and it says whatever it says, dictionary.com's add to home screen. So I'll try to make this visible for you guys. So add to home screen. Now it just says, do you want to put this on your home screen? Now I do, so I'm just going to say add. Now if you don't want it later, you can get rid of it, right? Slam dunk easy. So it says touch and hold an icon or tap add to the home screen. Now it's going to be a D. So this is going to be the icon for dictionary.com. So execute90.com looked like that orange. This looks like our logo right here, right? So this is what it's going to look like. So I'm going to add that. Okay, now shortcut to the dictionary has been added to my home screen. So I'm going to be looking for a D on here. So I'm just clicking by here, and usually it's kind of at the end. And so I'm looking for this D on here, and it will be on my home screen. So problem is on my home screen, there isn't space for it to, it should pop up. So, here I am looking for my D. I know that it actually did what I wanted it to do. It's just that a little D is hard to see where it might have gone to exactly. So it does add that then to my home screen. So it's actually right here on my screen. So it's there, and if I click on it, I will end up going to dictionary.com. So that's all you have to do. Now, I have no idea how to do that with a Mac, with an Apple, with an iPhone, because I don't own an iPhone, so I've never done it with an iPhone. But what I do know is that will work essentially with everything that's Android will work exactly like I just right now showed you. So yeah, it'll work that way. Okay, now here's right here. So dictionary.com. And if I press dictionary.com, I go to dictionary.com. So we go to my home screen again. If I click execute 90, then it goes to execute90.com. Okay, so welcome back, execute90.com. I log in and it works. Should work exactly like it worked on the desktop. Okay, Cynthia, you have a question.
Well, I've tried to follow along with you on my iPhone because I do have an iPhone. This is what I got. I don't know if it's too much light glare. Okay, it says week 10. I can't get it on my home screen. All I can do is bookmark it.
So it logs in automatically for you then. It goes to the site and automatically logged in for you, unless you
No, I went to the site and I logged in, and then I went to the 3 dots, and somehow it let me choose the app. It's actually app.execute90.com. So it's an app, but I don't think it's on my home screen.
Well, it does take a little bit to find it. And sometimes it takes like a screen refresh, like if you swipe right, left, up, or down, right, then it maybe need to refresh the screen in order for it on your screen, because that's what I had to do just now even. So,
okay.
So it thinks you're already logged in. See, I'm not logged into an Execute 90 account. So
well, when I logged in, I asked it to keep me logged in because I have to look it up on a spreadsheet. I don't know all my logins.
I got it. I'm with you. That's very good. So yeah, so it does work. So it works just like we're saying too, right? To be able to use that. And this is important for you to know because I don't do everything on my phone. I do a lot of things on my phone. But there's a lot of times when I travel, when I need to be able to get to my Execute 90 account to be able to do a demo or to do something, right? In order to be able to move forward. That's how I learned this. Like this has to be able to work on the phone. Now, it's not a native app, just so you'll know. It's not a native app. You are using the cloud right now. Now, it works, but it's fast enough, right, that it works like an app, but it's not a native app. So just so that everybody's clear. So I just want to make the distinction to make sure that everybody knows. Now, here's the good news, Cynthia, is that is that your iPhone recognizes exactly what's there, and it did work. It kept you logged in. You are logged in, and so it's working. Now, I've never used it on an iPhone. I've only used it on an Android phone, but now we have proof, visual, recorded proof that it does work on an iPhone. So
I have another question. For some reason, both on the iPhone and on my laptop, when I come in, when I go to execute, it always opens at week 11. What is with that?
it always loads at week 11?
Week 11. And then I have to click, 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 click back to where I want to be.
So are you on week 11 in your progress, or went to week 11 even when you were actually in week 2?
It went to week 11 when I was in week 1. It just goes there every time.
Yes. So here's the good news. We still have our friend Bryson here, and
yeah,
explain what it is that's happened there. So I'm going to let him say rather than me speculate. So
thank you.
Bryson, would you like to carry this one, my friend? It's all you.
Give me 1 second. I'll actually look up your account. What's your email address so I can look it up?
hydrationandmore@gmail.com.
And you don't have to give him your password. He'll figure that out, I suspect.
Yeah.
You don't want to, or I'll stop, or I'll just.
Exactly.
I'd have to look it up again.
No, I don't need your password. Okay. All right. Give me a second. I'll see if I can see what's going on.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Super cool. Now, are you using, Cynthia, are you using Safari on your regular computer?
Chrome. Always Chrome.
Got it. Okay. Good. That's my always punt thing. Yes, I'm using that. Well, that's my first drop back thing, right? It's like, okay, well, let's figure out Safari first of all, and we'll be able to move forward. So Bryson will have an answer here for us just in a second. So Cynthia, how are you enjoying using Execute 90 in your business so far?
I am enjoying it. I met with my mentor today, finally, and I was going over it with her as well. So it's kind of nice to be able to teach it to someone else too.
And did it help your conversation with your mentor to be able to say, here's what I'm doing, here's what's going on, here's how my business is going, here's what's happening with me?
Yes, but my question, and maybe this isn't the proper time to ask it, you keep telling us, and we have it on paper, the difference between a mentor and a support partner. It specifically says what our support partner is to do with us. It specifically says who our mentor should be, but not specifically what she needs to do with me. Can you help me with that?
Absolutely. So let me just log in here real quick. So
thank you.
Any of these things, I don't think you can see my screen right now, but I will. It's okay. We'll get this worked out. So Execute 90. This, by the way, girls and boys, is exactly what this call is for. This call is actually intended to be able to help us get the most out of our accounts. So you can see on here Execute 90, right? Okay. So in the Access Downloads part of this thing, I just want you to see. So I'll click on Access Downloads. There is a file on here, a download called Mentorship Criteria. And this document, right? So you should be able to see a PDF. It says, you can see this, right, Cynthia?
Yep, I have it right in front of me in print too. Okay,
so it says Mentorship Criteria and Support Partners. And it says at the top here, this is what a mentor, an expert mentor, and then it gives a list of 15 things. And then it's at the bottom. This is all on one sheet. Distinction between the mentor, right? Your mentor doesn't have to be your support partner. In fact, your mentor probably, not absolutely, but probably won't be your support partner. They usually have large organizations, simply can't meet with everyone individually. Now, if you can get your mentor to be able to meet with you, I say hallelujah. My hat's off to you, my friend. So your support partner is a person who can meet with you individually, can inspire and encourage you, and give course correction. He or she can be anyone who will hold you accountable and responsible for following the mentor-approved plan that you have committed to execute. Your support partner can be someone in your upline, crossline, or even in a different network marketing business. In fact, your support partner doesn't have to be in network marketing at all, but they do have to be willing to hold you accountable and responsible for executing with precision. Your support partner doesn't have to know how to coach you. Now, that's why we added all of those training resources, right? Doesn't have to be able to coach you on the items that seem to be holding you back. They can simply look at your weekly scorecard and point you to the things that are not being done or done very well, right? They can easily recommend what needs to be corrected and possibly point you in the direction of training, etc., that can help you. Although you should know or be able to ask your mentor where the training resources are. If they're not in Execute 90, because it's possible that there are some companies that say, Clay, you're not going to teach my team anything. I don't want you to teach on my team. Execute 90 is great. We love it, but not for the training component of how do I create skills and knowledge necessary to be able to actually go out and build my business. Right now, your support partner must meet with you weekly to help you be accountable. So the mentor knows what has to be in place, knows the critical action items. So your mentor is the one who's created the action items that get automatically downloaded. Knows how much of each of the critical action items you can reasonably do in a week, has done what you want to be able to do. They know how to avoid the pitfalls. They are motivated to help you. They'll give you structure in your communication and reporting methodology. They can transfer skill and knowledge. They help shape your beliefs, etc. They know what particular knowledge and skills you need, know how to create a list of prospects, how to ask, listen, and repeat to create meaningful interactions, knows the steps of a proper presentation. So they've done what you're doing. They know the process of enrolling new people, etc. That's the mentor job. So this isn't a distinction. Now, you're welcome to, you can download this document, print it, use it, send it to them, send it to, I don't care who. We create this documentation so that you can have it at your will. Now, the spam form, this guy right here, I'm in back to Access Downloads. The spam form can actually help you execute a support partner accountability meeting, so that this gives you don't have to think about this, right? What the mentor approved plan. Now, this is part of what I just read you a minute ago, right? What is the support partner's role in this whole thing? Now, the logistics. This is the agenda for a 20 to 30 minute time. So you stay on track. You don't get off talking about things that don't have anything to do with what you're doing here. So 3 to 4 minutes doing this, 1 to 3 minutes doing that, 2 to 3 minutes doing this, 4 to 7 minutes. You see, this is why we let you send your report, your weekly scorecard to someone, so that they can have it in front of them, and everybody can be reading from exactly what we're doing here with this agenda to be able to move forward. Okay, so these are the forms. They're all downloadable. This is part of your subscription, so you have access to all of these things. Now, I hope, does that answer your question, Cynthia?
Actually, I'm sorry, it doesn't. So I understand the difference between the two. I understand with the spam form, it tells exactly what my support partner is looking at, what she needs to help me with. The mentorship tells the mentor criteria. It tells me the criteria for my mentor. She is all that. She's above wage. She's a 6A2- whatever. But it doesn't tell me what exactly she needs to go over with me each week when we meet. Is she just there to encourage me, for me to say, hey, I'm really having problems. You know, I did 12 presentations this week and I didn't sell a machine. I think I need help with closing. Is that the type of relationship we're supposed to have? Is that her role?
So if your mentor is also your support partner.
No, she's not. She's not. Just my mentor.
Got it. Then your mentor should be giving you mentorship criteria. They should be giving you exactly what it is, so they know what has to be in place. So if you want to be,
she's got that, yeah.
So, but if you want to be, like, let's say that you're a 4A now and you want to go to 5A.
Mm-hmm.
Right? more money or give her some criteria, right? Then,
Okay. She's just helping me progress in the company.
yes, here's what has to be in place for you to do that. In order to go from 4A to 5A, you need this amount of sales, that kind of structure, this amount of people, etc., right? So that you can move forward. The framework, right? Your mentorship for what you want to create. They should know the exact critical action items and what sequence to do them in so that will come to pass, right? The stuff that you would put in your 168-hour schedule. They know how much of each of those critical action items you ought to be able to do based on how much time Cynthia has versus how much I have or Bryson or anybody else, right? This should be very specific to you. So has done exactly what you know how to do, which is great because your mentor actually is in a mentorship place, right? Now, if they can teach you any of the skills and knowledge, either you individually or if your mentor is doing a one-to-many, right? Like the mentors often do, they have, calls or web presentations, whatever. So they're teaching a group of people all at once rather than one individual at a time. That's kind of how a mentor would operate. Your support partner is somebody you need to meet with every week, and your support partner will actually hold you accountable for doing what it is that the mentor has told you to do.
Got it.
Are you sure you got it? Are we okay, really?
Truly.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm helping you. Awesome. Okay, Bryson, did you figure this out?
So everything looks good on my end, which is good news for me, but bad news for Cynthia. So
what would happen if she screen refreshed, right? Just shift and then screen refresh.
Yeah, so that was what I was going to recommend is you actually, I know this requires you to dig up your password, unfortunately, but I was going to recommend you actually log out of the app and then do a hold down the shift key as you hit the refresh button. I'm assuming you're on a Mac, or are you on a Windows?
Laptop is a Windows, phone is an iPhone.
Okay. So yeah, so on the iPhone, you just log out and then enter your password, your username and password again, and try to log back in if it's not. Okay, so yours shows week 12. It just
automatically goes there.
Yeah. Okay. So it's supposed to automatically go to the week that you're on.
Exactly.
But we're not on week 12, are we, Clay?
Well, your start date is the 2nd of February. So
to help you get.
Okay.
Okay. So you can see my screen, right, Cynthia?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I'm gonna move this so I can actually log out. So what Bryson is suggesting that we do here is to log out. So I'm going to log out and go to execute90.com. Okay, so up here in the upper right hand corner, we got this little 2/3 circle thing. If you press the shift key down and hold it and click on that,
right.
You should then be on the most latest, and you can do this in any website, right? You'll have the download. You may have an older version of Execute 90 in your cache that will automatically load the newest version of this page and every page related to this one.
And Clay, in order for that to work, you do have to be on the app.execute90.com. So you have to hit the login button there, because this is a different website. This is the marketing side.
Okay, so I just downloaded the newest one, the newest version of this page, even for me just now. So I'm sorry, what did you say, Bryson? I wasn't able to hear you.
Oh, you're good. So yeah, I was just saying, in order for it to work, you have to be on app.execute90.com to get the latest app. You can log in and do it. But yeah, I'm just saying that the page that you were on was the marketing side, so it's not gonna pull the app part, but that's fine. So yeah, if you hit login, and then if you do it there, it should work.
Now I would do it in here, you're saying?
Yeah, or you can log in and then do it, which is probably the best option.
Okay, and I have an old version of this page. Okay, so you can do, so this is how you would reload. You press the shift key and it's like super mega killer, right? So I'm just refreshing the same page. Refresh, you're actually downloading the newest version of whatever the page is that you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so I would try that, and if it still doesn't work, then you're going to be screaming at me in order to. I'm inviting you to do that, right? To let me know how we can support you, and then we'll pass that along, and we'll get this stuff squared away so that you're able to use this in the most positive possible way.
Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Anything else from anybody tonight? Bryson, is there anything else you'd like to share with us before we go away here? We're a little bit over time. Sorry about that, guys, but we want to make sure to really help you to be able to use your subscription in positive ways.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything for me. I mean, any feedback you guys have on, especially if you're using Mac, you can, if you send it to Clay and he can disseminate it to us, that'd be great. We use Windows primarily for our development environment, so it's hard for us to see all the different problems that could occur. But we've worked hard to make sure that we're catching everything. We installed some new error reporting things, so every time you guys get an error, we get an error too, to make sure so we can track what's going on. So that's helped us a lot, and hopefully we can make this very stable and problem-free for you.
Awesome. Thank you. And Cynthia and everybody who's listening to this live or to the replay, we are listening to you, right? The question tonight came specifically from, two of them came from Cynthia. So we want to make sure that you know that we are actually paying attention. This is not made up nonsense, right? We're actually doing what you're asking us to do. If you have a question, we want to make sure that you have it because you're probably not the only one. So I appreciate all of you guys being on here with us tonight. Sorry about being a little bit over, but I'll send the replay link later on this evening when it compiles. Then we'll go from there. So wanted to let one last thing. Every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, we're here. Right? We have a Q&A to this, and we take you through things. We answer some questions of people in real time of what we have to be able to move forward. Like we had a real-time question tonight. Cynthia's asking about this week situation. So we do appreciate that. Also, for you and your team on Thursday nights at 7:30 Mountain Time, and I'll send a link again, an invitation again, 7:30 on Mountain Time on Thursday nights, we do an introduction overview. About 30 minutes, we start at the beginning, right? Show exactly how Execute 90 works, and why you would actually use it in your business to help you to move forward. So just wanted to let you know those two things. Thank you for all that you do and all that you are and the way you show up. Bryson, thank you for your time tonight, my friend. You've been very helpful. And we look forward to talking to you guys all here very soon. So thank you guys, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.